Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Wednesday the 15th of February. Here we have the two types of tables in front of us. They're showing the same studies but just highlighting different time frames. So we have our trend traders and our day traders. We can see here some of the currencies are highlighted in green. That means there is a confluence between those two trading time frames, and that's where we'll be focusing some of our attention in these videos. The tables auto update every 15 minutes 24/7, meaning that our members can see how the markets stand right now in real time. So in this video, what are we going to be focusing on today? Well, we can see that the US dollar has come back as one of the stronger currencies. That was after the US CPI data yesterday. So we're going to have a little look at the dollar strength. You can see that it's the second strongest on the day traders. We have the Canadian dollar as the second strongest on the trend traders, but third strongest on the day traders. We have the yen, which still remains top of the tables as the weakest currency, and then we have the New Zealand dollar as the second weakest currency on both tables. So we're going to focus on New Zealand US dollar in today's video. I am then going to go over pound US dollar, which we talked about in yesterday's video, because price came up into that zone of interest. So we'll have a little look at that one as well. If you're looking at other pairs today, you could potentially look at CAD yen, and you could potentially look at dollar yen as well. Remember, please look at these markets in context when you do look at the tables. Make sure you go and then add technical confluences to those markets before you make a trading decision. So looking at New Zealand dollar, the reason why I'm looking at New Zealand dollar is because we're getting a bit of a breakout at the moment. So if we jump into this New Zealand US dollar chart, you can see I'm actually on the 8-hour time frame. But if I just pop up a little bit higher on this daily time frame, you can see that what's happened, price has come into or very close to the 0.6550 handle. We formed this almost like a double top, maybe even a triple top, with this spike into the level as well, and price has continued to push lower. We've then just kind of consolidated at trendline support. So instead of sort of rejecting aggressively away from the trendline support, price has stuck around that trendline support. Now usually when price does this, there can be an opportunity to see price break to the downside, okay, so break through that support. So that's what we're seeing at the moment. We did have a rejection in the past of the trend line, but now we're not really seeing that. And that could open the door for a move down to the next level of interest, which is the 0.62 handle. We also have confluence down here with the 200 daily moving average. So you can see that running through there, which rests at 0.6192. So looking to see if price can trade down to this level where we found that support in the past back in January, or the start of January. So looking for a continuation to the downside. Now, just to kind of make this a little bit easier on the eye, that's why I've gone down to the 8-hour chart, just to make things a little bit cleaner for us, because you can see in a little bit more detail that consolidation that price formed, the breakout, price coming back. And you know, one of my favorite things to look at is price coming back into previous highs and seeing how it reacts. And you can see here we came back into the previous high after the CPI data yesterday, and we've continued to push to the downside. Now this 8-hour candle is showing us a potential for a close below this bearish channel and a close below the 0.63. So if you were looking at it from a trend trading perspective, you could look at entries on a close here with stops just above this area in here and look for a move down to the 0.62 handle. Alternatively, you could look for a lower time frame move, okay? So if we were to go down even lower to our hourly time frame, we could look for price to pull back into an area and then look for some bearish price action to form. So you can actually see at that 0.63 handle, there's kind of a little bit of a pause there. Again, the CPI data rejected this area yesterday. We've had another rejection through here. So 0.63 is a decent level to look at. So what I'll be looking for is if price comes back into that point, we could then even dive a little bit lower, like we've discussed in the past, maybe a 15-minute time frame. But ultimately, I want to see if price fails to trade above it. If price fails to trade above it and we get kind of like a double top pattern or something like that, that could signify a potential move to the downside there, and that would be a good place to then look for targets and stops, because we'd be able to put a sensible stop loss in and have a good reward to risk ratio. So looking for the potential there on Kiwi dollar to the downside. I did say we'd discuss pound US dollar as well, so if I just head over to pound US dollar, the reason why I'm talking about pound US dollar, because yesterday we talked about price breaking through the 1.22 handle, making its way higher towards the range lows, and then looking for the short opportunity. So price spiked higher. You can see that we reacted right in at that range there, and if you'd looked for your short in and around this range low, with your stop loss above these highs being 190 pips or even lower at 150 pips, you can see that we dropped about 180 pips to the downside so far. So if I was in this position right now with 150 pip stop, 190 pip target, I'd be looking to maybe take a little bit off the table here because we're at support. I would then be looking to see if we get the extension down to the 118.50 handle for 400 pips to the downside. So looking to see if price will break out of this little bit of an area here. If we do get that continuation, it could offer us some further opportunities. So keep that in mind. We've got Kiwi dollar and pound US dollar both looking to break down. Kiwi dollar has broken out of its little channel here, so looking for a move down to the 0.6200. Thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.